Matt, on to inflation and wages. The Fair Work Commission has expressed some concern about issuing a large jump when it comes to wages. Do you think this, if it does happen, that would lead to more interest rate rises?
Well, the advice that we've received from Treasury, and that's contained in the budget papers, is that a reasonable increase in minimum wages won't add to inflation. And the government has chosen to accept that advice, and that's implicit in the submission that we've made to the Fair Work Commission for a reasonable wage increase. We haven't put a figure on it, but we've said that, of course, wages should keep pace with cost of living. We know that many Australian households, particularly low to middle income workers, are struggling with cost of living pressures, and inflation eats away at their real income. So we think that minimum wages should be a reasonable increase to ensure that families can keep pace with cost of living. And I think that the Fair Work Commission president was reflecting that in saying to the proponents before the commission, you need to present evidence of that, and that will no doubt be presented by the unions over the coming days.
How much is too much, Holly?
Well, what we need to look at is that real wages, since Mr Albanese became Prime Minister, have reduced by 4.5%. $1 today is worth less than it was 12 months ago.
It's now at a decade high, though, 3.7%.
Yeah, but real wage growth, because of the inflationary pressures that this big spending government is putting onto the economy, that wage growth has been completely swallowed up by inflation. And in fact, real wages have dropped 4.5%. And so we need to make sure that across the board, this government is not spending 2 to 1 like it proposes in its current welfare budget. And this is a welfare budget that is going to put inflationary pressure across the board. Inflation is something that affects everybody. Doesn't matter what you do, inflation is something that every single person in Australia is struggling with at the moment.
Okay.
And you know, this we need to make sure that the Fair Work Commission remains its independence, but that we're pulling levers that actually reduce inflation, not lead to it increasing.
Okay, just a final one here to Matt, Assistant Defence. You still got faith in the US, given Biden's no-show?
Yeah, look, the alliance with the United States has been the foundation of our security relationship since World War II, and that's not going to change. Unfortunately, President Biden has domestic political issues that he needs to handle. He phoned Anthony Albanese.
Yeah. But is that a win for China, though? Does that mark as a win for China?
Oh, look, I think that I don't see it that way at all. I think that the foundation of the relationship with the United States is strong. The relationship with our other Quad partners is strong. Narendra Modi will still visit Australia next week, and that will be a huge visit for our nation. And you'll see the Quad occur on the sidelines of the G7 next week. So I think that those important relationships will remain strong.
Matt and Holly, appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.